Hey there, welcome back to another This Week at Skye, and back by popular demand, Ashley is with us today. G'day Ashley, how are you?
Good morning, I'm well. It's very early here. I'm still in Perth. But yeah, I'm good. How have you been?
Great. And I will be coming over to Perth along with every other advisor at Skye. So thank you for waking up super early. It is 6:20 in the morning there. So I appreciate that you got up nice and early to record. So talk to me, how was your week last week?
And yeah, catching up with clients that I'd had an advice meeting with the week prior. So normally after we have the advice meeting, we'll try and see the clients within a couple of weeks just to check if they've had time to go through the advice document, if they have any questions. I find that normally keeping the conversation going within a couple of weeks, you don't forget as much. The process often moves a little bit quicker and smoother. So it was good to, get all of those conversations done. Oh, and we got a new intern last week as well.
Yes, we did.
In the office.
Mitch was in the office.
Yeah.
He's with us for 4 weeks. And so it was good having a new team member in the office.
So Mitch, we I met at one of the Striver events that we went to back in April.
Oh, there you go. So when you and Trent went to that Striver event. Very good.
Yeah, so we met Izzy there and Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch, he currently lives in Geelong, but he's full-time in the office now and living locally, I think. He's somewhere. I don't know where he's staying, but he's somewhere
Not in
local.
Geelong. Yeah.
So my week last week was good. I was catching up with some referral partners, just going through prepping some content planning with our referral partners as well. And then catching up with team members. Some of my favourite bits about my work is I block in 15 minutes, but I always take the full half an hour block and sometimes go over catching up with different team members. So that was good. And just asking all the questions and getting all the insights into how people are feeling at work and what's working for them, what's not. And then also we are week 2 in our steps challenge, or we were week 2 in our step challenge. How are you going with your steps?
It's okay. I find it a little bit trickier actually getting the steps in Perth compared to in Melbourne. In Melbourne, I would easily do a bit before work, during work, after work. Whereas here, I normally wake up and go to work, so don't do any steps first. So smashing them all out in big chunks is a bit trickier.
Yeah. And have you been going for walks on the beach at all?
Yeah, I'm not a very far walk from the beach, so I'll walk down to the beach, walk along the coast for an hour or two, and then circle back home.
You know what? I like that because walking on the beach is actually harder, and so you're going to do less steps per minute than the average.
It's a bit foolish.
So it's good because you're not on my team. Last week was good. I did 31,000 steps on one day, but I'm trying to average 20,000. Over the weekend, not so good. So I haven't confessed to my team yet because I'm a little bit embarrassed and ashamed. I only did 10,000 a day over the weekend, but I'm committing to doing more this week. So I've already done, I don't know, I went for a walk this morning, got into the office early. I was like, I'll try and get a few thousand steps in. And then Evan, I've got to do a big shout out to Evan, the absolute maniac, psychopath. Did 211,764 steps in a week. Now, if you're not normally stepping, take 211,000 divided by 7, that's a big number on a per day average. On one day, he did 71,718 steps. And last Friday, I asked him how, and he said he was moving for 15 hours straight. Well, actually not straight, but he did 15 hours of stepping. Yeah. What a psychopath.
I don't know if he's sleeping.
Yeah, he needs to chill out. But great job, Evan.
Very impressive.
Des is our number 2, and she was sufficiently demotivated after seeing Evan's steps. You can see it on her face. So,
she was the one to catch last year. So
yeah. So everyone needs to chill out a little bit so me and my team can win. All right, so our first topic of the week, we are talking about Nippon Life finalises Ascender Group merger. So AMP Life was a big life insurance company in Australia, got bought out by Resolution Life, which is a global insurance company, and then they shut off to new clients. So they they kind of just manage policies. Some markets, like in New Zealand, they take on new policies, but in Australia, they close it off to new policies. And Nippon Life, who owns what used to be called MLC, is now being called Ascender, is a Japanese insurance company. And so Nippon Life and Resolution Life globally are being acquired or merged together. So it means that AMP, now Resolution Life policies, and MLC, now Ascender, they're being merged together. I think when it got announced, it had to go through like 22 global regulatory bodies to get all the sign off. So, every market that these two companies are in, they had to get sign off that it was okay. In Australia, it was always going to be fine because the APRA, the regulator, was probably keen for Resolution Life not to just hold on to policies. Now it's finalised, and so that's the history, and that's where we're at. And now I think I read it. I tried to Google it. It's like 19% market share is what their total in-force business will make up. It's a very big insurance company now.
And so, who is the second biggest? Just to give context for what 19% looks like.
Oh, that's a good question.
Asking questions you don't have the answer to?
No, I think CALI is actually number one still, even with that merger. Yeah, CALI is number one, followed by AIA is number two, and this will be number three, equal to 2 or 3 in terms of in-force policies. Now, new policies being written, CALI's number one and Zurich's number 2. But yeah, so it's a significant business, and it's good from a policy holder. If you had a Resolution Life policy, nothing changes. Everything's still the same, but it's good being owned.
Hopefully their premiums don't keep going up as much then.
Yeah, it's good. It's good being owned by a insurance company who wants to get new policies because they are incentivized to play well with their existing policyholders and not just try and maximize profits on their existing policyholders.
Gosh, that must have been going on for years. How long ago did Resolution Life close their books?
So Resolution Life took over AMP's business in 2020, and I think they closed down new business basically straight away. I'll have to double check that, but they came in and they didn't really want new policies. And AMP was one of the biggest businesses, and they've been around for over 100 years in Australia. It's kind of, they were the brand name in life insurance for many, many years. And so even up until when I started, 15 years ago, they were the number one. Now they're no longer.
No, I was going to say, to me, the whole time I've been around, TAL's been the big name in life insurance.
Right, now our next story, CALI just released the State of Australia's safety net. So talk to me about, we've talked about CALI before, but what is CALI? And talk to me about this report, Ash.
CALI is the Council of Australian Life Insurers. So they're one of our main bodies, just observing the life insurance world, hence why they come up most weeks.
Well, they actually represent the insurance companies.
True, not the advisors.
Just in case I say anything spicy, that's something to note, that they represent the insurers and they talk about the market and how it's advised, but they represent the insurance companies.
Looking over their products a little bit. So in this report, there are heaps of great stats in there discussing what sort of expectations are with customers, clients looking into getting advice, what their gaps are in terms of financial literacy, what the causes of claims are looking like, how that side of things is looking at. So some of the stats we have here is advice is very expensive. The average advice fee sits around $3,000 to $4,000. With that being said, for my generation, your generation, because with cost of living
so
being
generous.
Really high.
Thank you, Ashley.
Cost of living is a very big concern for our generations. And so 7 out of 10 people are already just struggling to make ends meet, according to this report. So not many people are going to have an extra $3,000, $4,000 just to go and get advice. Granted, this report isn't taking into consideration companies like us here at Skye, where our fee is 10% of that. So, there's options available for if people wanted to get insurance sorted out for more affordable fees. The report goes on to talk about how there is a big gap in financial literacy, with only 8% of people receiving information from financial advisors. A lot of people, though, they are going online getting advice through sources like podcasts and other short form content. And then coming around to the workplace wellbeing side of things, 46% of workers, they say, are at risk of burnout, with mental health being the largest reason for people claiming on total and permanent disability. This is just a signal that the people claiming for mental health is something that's likely to only increase. If people are already stressed at home, you're generally going to be a bit more stressed at work as well. So there's definitely a large need for financial support around mental health, and the current system has lots of gaps.
Some of the stats I really enjoy in this report. So if there's any advisors watching, definitely read the report because it does talk a lot to the benefits of advice. And, it does talk about cost and cost consideration. So CALI's kind of purpose of this report is really to try and get the government to allow insurance companies to offer simplified advice to consumers. And they see that as a great way to fill that gap, allowing the insurers. I actually agree, but with some guardrails. I actually would prefer the advisors' requirements to be a little bit lessened and much more streamlined. There's a reason why average advice is $4,000. It's not because advisors are all here just wanting to print money, because the cost and the burden is just pretty substantial to be able to provide advice. So
it takes a long time to produce a statement of advice. And if anyone watching has ever received or seen a statement of advice, you'll see that they're very lengthy documents.
Yeah. So I think there's a bit of work. Instead of just going, well, financial advice is too hard, let's just bring in this new thing to solve the problem. Let's try and tackle the cost impost when it comes to advice. But outside of that, there are things in this report. So it does talk about, 1 in 2 people want more affordable products to improve the value of life insurance. So, that's the actual cost the insurers are charging. 50% trust online sources for financial advice. Now, the most trusted are actual financial advisors providing online content. So 84%. Any advisors out there who are thinking about doing content, you are the most trusted in this marketplace. And so create content, help people, access simplified education. So 67% believe it's important to access life insurance through superannuation. And the other stat I read, and it's in a different spot, is underinsurance is the most pronounced amongst younger working Australians. Only 54% cover, and that age bracket is 18 to 34, with only 54% covered compared with 63% of those aged 35 to 54. And so 54% of people are underinsured. I actually don't know if I've got to check these numbers if that's any insurance at all, because I would suspect underinsurance is much more than that.
Because the 18 to 35-year-old age range will have been affected when the you must have 6K in super rules came into play in the 25. So less
the government
just default insurance.
Yeah, the government signaled to every Australian that insurance isn't actually that important to have inside your super if you're young. Because if you're under 25, you're never going to need insurance, is what they've told the market. And if you don't have a high enough balance, if you're too poor to get insurance, then you don't need insurance, which is wild. But that's okay. Again, I'll get off my high horse. But the other stat that I liked is twice as many Australians insure their car compared to those insuring their income. Yes. Which is, the whole time I've been in advice, it's been exactly the same, and it hasn't changed. Bless you, Simone. And that's got to stay as well. And
it was actually Piper sneezing if it's staying.
Oh, Piper. Bless you, Piper. Yeah, that stat has been persistent. That people, but like if you're without your car, it's really not that important. If you're without your income, you're completely stuffed. So anything else from this report that stood out to you?
No, but further to what you're saying, being in Perth, catching up with family and friends, and having a lot of discussions around what I do for work, just realizing people have such a better understanding of general insurance than life insurance. So lots of conversations being had. I think I will be getting my sister closest in age to me finally on the bandwagon of getting her insurance sorted out this week. So
If she isn't convinced, just wait until next week and I'll
Yeah.
meet her. And I love giving young whippersnappers lectures about why they need insurance in
yes.
place.
It's
Awesome.
one of my favorite hobbies in the office.
Yeah, team me up to just start ranting. All right, now we are back for Ash's Baking Corner.
Skye team's ready, forks in hand. Ash's Baking takes the stand.
Ash is finally here for Ash's Baking Corner. So talk to me, Ash. You bake something for yourself.
Yes, there could not have been more errors in this baking. Only after one of the situations happened did I read the manual, and it said I put in double the amount of dough into the stand mixer than what the stand mixer is meant to have. So because of that, the dough went up into the
actual machine as well, like
into
into
the motor.
rotor.
Not so sure, not 100% certain. Mum doesn't think so. I think so. So that was error number one.
Let your mum think it didn't ruin the machine, because then you don't need to replace it when it breaks in a few weeks' time.
I said, let's keep an eye on that, and maybe I will purchase, get someone to come around and do a service of the machine, because that was not good. Next, I use a recipe book that has everything and says to use fresh yeast. So I've been running around Perth last week trying to work out where I can buy fresh yeast. Found a place, bought it, but it was frozen, and I'm looking at it going, I reckon this has been in the freezer too long. I don't think the yeast is active anymore. I was right, it isn't. They didn't rise. They're very hard this morning.
Now,
I made cardamom buns.
you do like a teeth breaker. So
Not for my buns, though. This is like a biscuit.
You've leaned right into the teeth breaker.
So I'm just breaking it up right now so I can actually bite a bit.
Okay, that didn't break your teeth. That was all right.
No, it didn't.
And
but
again,
also I used the back of my teeth.
Yeah, I saw. Don't you worry about that. If anyone's unsure if Ash gets asked to bake or not, again, can guarantee Ash is baking for herself in Ash's Baking Corner, and
I got
you're not in
told
the
to
office.
bring in. I got a message last week saying, bring in your favourite biscuit. That's what we've been doing while you're away. I said, I'm baking. I'm just going to bring in my baked good.
Yeah. You're going to let your family know that we get better baked goods here than they will, because that's their sample. They've been seeing you on these videos with all these amazing baked goods and thinking, oh, I can't wait till Ash gets back home. She can bake us something.
Well, they all bake anyway.
What's your rating? Would you give it like 6, 7?
The flavour's really good. That's the only thing it has going for it, really. Otherwise, it's just an experience to eat. So it will get a 6.
6. Now, I bought in my favourite biscuits. Azza got wagon wheels last week, and I thought, this isn't just like my favourite as a child. This is my favourite as a child that has persisted in adulthood. And like every birthday, Kate will generally buy me a packet. Now, shout out to you, Kate, because I know the girls always like watching these baking corners, so they're probably going to watch this one. You don't need to, because I've got these. But I actually haven't had mint slices in a little while. Actually, I lie. I probably had one a month ago when Lil had a packet. I took one off her.
That Harper made for you.
Yeah, that was homemade, yeah. I won't eat it like I normally do, because I eat biscuits like a psychopath.
In layers.
Yeah. And the mint slice is probably the most strangest. So I'll just eat it normally.
Throwback to last week when you were having a go at Azaria for suggesting that you bite the muffin. I'm with Azaria.
You grab a muffin and just bite it?
Yes.
What do you do, Peter? You bite it as well? Am I the weirdo? I can't believe I'm the weirdo here. It rocks my world. I've never once thought pick up a muffin and just hoe into it, because they're bigger. They're big. They're too big. If it's a big boy, I might cut it and then still grab it.
I'm still never cutting it. At most, I'm like pulling it apart a little bit with my fingers or something.
Again, now we're back. We're in food discussions. I eat pizzas with a knife and fork because I'm a gentleman. except I don't eat these like a gentleman. I eat these like a psychopath. And mint slices, 10 out of 10, can never go wrong with an Arnott Smith slice. Definitely not 6 or 7, big 10s. Shout out to you, Harpy. All right, Ashley, what client story do you have this week?
So, wasn't getting too much into the nitty-gritty last week, but because I had just been away, I was catching up on a lot of things, and one of the clients that came back onto my list last week is a client who started the process and his wife was still pregnant. So when I had the advice meeting, his wife was a few weeks away from going on maternity leave. So when I had the meeting with them, I said, let's at a minimum make sure that the wife gets everything in place nice and quickly. The insurer that we're looking at recommending for her said that income protection is still available so long as she's not on maternity leave. So for that reason, I think her application was completed within 2 weeks. The baby hadn't come yet. It was a very smooth, quick process.
And
that
just
was maybe
quick shout out as to why, because when you're on mat leave, insurers say, "Hey, we won't give you income protection until you're back at work." So that's why it's important.
Yes,
Fast
that's
track
why
those.
we wanted to get through. The husband on the other side said, I'm busy at work. I'll just wait until the babies come. I'll have more time. Me being younger and naive, I haven't experienced that yet. So I said, okay, sure, whatever you want to do. That was about 3 months ago. His application has now been open for nearly 3 months. I'm still struggling to get in contact with him just to get a few pieces finalised for his application. The insurer has a couple questions before they're willing to offer, make their final assessment of what terms are going to be available for him. So yeah, this is just a little shout out to get stuff done before the baby comes is what I've learned through this process.
Anyone out there who thinks, I've got 2 weeks off for parental leave or whatever, a month off when the baby comes, I'll have heaps of time. No. Trust, you will not, and you will not want to do anything other than try and sleep as much as you can, or just survive or support your partner during that time. So that's.
Did you see any clients last week?
No, I didn't. I actually went through preparing some content with our partners. Was actually looking through all our claim stories, and we do it a little bit sometimes. Every so often, we talk about what their claim is and stuff. But I spent a lot of time deep diving on what did the clients have before we caught up with them? What did we recommend? What did they take out? Because sometimes that's different. And then what was their claim journey? And so many of our clients, because we've been growing quite quickly, bringing on a lot of new clients in the last few years. So many clients take out a policy and then 12 months later make a claim on their policies.
Wow.
And so we've got quite a lot in that journey, and started with nothing as well, or very, very little, default insurance cover for $134,500 of life insurance only. And then we set them up with a whole bunch of cover. So that was good, just to really deep dive and spend a lot of time looking at, multiple clients. It's not one story, 2 stories, it's heaps of clients, exactly the same scenario. So that was kind of my, what I was doing this week. But what have we got coming up this week, Ashley? What have you got?
I'm going along to AIA's virtual summits. They're going to be talking about their product, what's coming up in the future, and like most sort of discussions these days, they're going to be talking about the effect of mental health on the insurance
world. They'll probably talk about, I wonder if they'll talk about their TPD stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be jumping in to see if they're talking about, because everyone's starting to come out with their products. Most of the companies at least have something in the works at the moment. So yeah.
And AIA, I've been to roundtable sessions in their offices 9 months ago, and they had a whole bunch of stuff worked out. So I'm a bit surprised they haven't brought something out yet, but it'd be interesting to hear if they do that. This week, I've got a very full week. I am going on a lot of, me and Trent are going to be hanging out a lot this week, actually. So we've got a full offsite on Thursday. We have a PBS business insurance session in the city on tomorrow. And then got a meeting tomorrow as well, just doing a full planning of our next 12 months tech stack development plan. What are we going to change, adjust, fix, so we can really plan it out the next 12 months and then really, allocate some money towards it. And then preparing for Perth next week, coming over and for the sole purpose to meet the Campbell family.
Of course.
Which is the only reason. But there's also another FAAA conference at the same time, which is fortunate that we've teed up the Campbell visit at the same time as that. So that's exciting. Awesome. And we also have some content coming out. So we've got a blog claiming before your cover starts. So talking about interim cover and how that works. We've got some Skye simplifiers. So why do some claims actually get declined? We've got some Skye moments with an interview with Kelly. And then we've got another insurance myth. Life insurance is only for parents. So thank you so much for joining us for this week at Skye. And thank you, Ash, for being back this week. It was great to see you. And I'll see you in person next week.
See you next week.